Yadadai, yabababam. Ay, 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 dai, 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 dai. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dai. Yai, dai, dai, dai. Yadadai, dai, dai, yadadai, dam. Yai, yai, dai, 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 dam. Yababa, yai, yai, yadadai, dai. Yai, dai, yai, dai, 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 dai. Yada da da da, yada da da. Yai da, yai da 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 da. Yaba ba, yai yai, yada da da. Yai da 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 da. Yada da da da, yada da da. Yai, dai, yai, yada, dai, 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 yada, dai, 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 ay, 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 dai. Boker Tov, good morning. It is good to be back with you. My schedule has been a little crazy just for whatever it is. Yesterday I had a weird, unique experience. Like, there's always experiences that happen, but I had a funeral in New Jersey yesterday, and not close New Jersey, as we like to call it. So not all Jersey is far these days, but it used to be that you could get to, Manhattan, in no more than 45 minutes. These days, it's a crapshoot. Unless you go on a Sunday morning before everybody wakes up, you're not getting there that quick. Just like it used to be that we could get to like Cedar Park Cemetery relatively quickly because it was the close New Jersey, as long as there wasn't traffic and as long as there wasn't an accident. Well, this was in Woodbridge, New Jersey, and it took me almost 3 hours to get there and 2.5 to get back. And this funeral was particularly odd. It should have been that they called somebody local to do this, but anyway, it was one person, which was the daughter, estranged from the deceased, which was the mother, for years and years and years and years. But the daughter was honoring the mother's wishes, which was to be buried with her parents in the Jewish cemetery. Her daughter had converted to Christianity of some sort, and here I am in the cemetery, and I'm doing what she asked me to do, which was do ritually what my mother would want, which is the memorial prayer, El Male, and Kaddish. That's what she asked for. So I arrive there, I meet the woman, the funeral director leaves as soon as the casket's lowered into the ground, and the hearse driver leaves, who is a friend. The funeral director, I didn't know he was a local person. And here I am in the cemetery, very unlike the cemeteries here, where there's always multiple funerals going on, or cemetery workers, foremen, grave diggers, whatever. We all know each other. This was out of like a horror movie. I felt like it was. There was nobody there. No one. The grave diggers, once they lowered the body, they were gone, missing. Like they were going to come back and finish the burial, I guess, after I left, but nobody was there. It was kind of strange, and I thought to myself, something doesn't feel like comfortable. And I'm not a scared kind of person. People don't freak me out. It doesn't matter. I've been in all kinds of strange situations, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. It's not a big deal. Until I look on the casket, and there's this cross placed on the casket. So I say to the daughter, did you place that on there? And she looked at me in the face and said no. Then she told me about her drug use. Then she told all of these things. And then she's telling me that I need Jesus to save me. So here I am thinking, why am I here? I'm here to do what the mother, the decedent, um, wishes were. I'm here to fulfill this. And so I do this, and the daughter is continuing on. And then she's telling me this whole story that she's, feeling guilty, and she's feeling guilty because she's not feeling bad. That the mother is, all this whole thing. And she keeps coming back to, Rabbi, this is like, I don't mean any harm by this, but I think that Jesus could save you. I said, I don't think I need saving. I think I'm okay. And she couldn't get past it, and I had to just walk away from the situation. I did the funeral, proper burial, all of those things for the mother, and it was time for me to leave. And so I've been in many weird situations and different funerals, and people mourn differently, and there's always stories to each family. But this, I couldn't wait to get back in my car and get on the road. So that was my yesterday. That's why you didn't see me. The day before was just a timing issue. Ellis brought the chicks home. They hatched the life cycle of a chick, which is the school gets the eggs, and they have them in an incubator, and they candle, and they look, and they blah, blah, blah. And my son volunteered, of course, to bring those home. So Monday, I had to return the chicks back to the school, and so the timing wasn't there. But here we are. It's Wednesday. Let's have some wisdom. Let's learn a little bit together. And let's remind ourselves the importance of being together in community. So in this week's Parsha, Pikudei, usually the Parshiot are together. It's one of those double Torah portions. And then on every couple of years, it is separate. Just the way the Torah readings go. This is, part of what this is. And so Pikudei means the accounts. And all are assembled, and all are accounted for. And at that moment, there is a blessing that Moses blessed the people that were assembled, the Israelites, the Jewish people, Bnei Yisrael, whatever you call it, the Jews. And Moses blessed them. All together, they would witness this cloud that covered the newly erected tent of meeting. And the presence of God would fill that place. We talked last week about the different parts of community based on humanity, based on that which was the gold and the silver and the brass and the crimson and the yarn and the incense and the stones. In this part of the double portion, which is a single portion for this year, Pikudei, usually it's Vayachel Pikudei, we learn about those details, that it's all in the details, that when we do holy work, God's presence abides. It was to say to build that Mishkan, build that tent of meeting, build that place exactly as it's told, without any difference in the details, that it was all laid out, that every single part had a place. Every single place was there intentionally. Just like every one of us has an intentional purpose. So when we do this holy work and God's presence comes and fills the space with a cloud, this alone is what makes the construction or the assembly or the finishing of something complete. The Parsha, the portion suggests that even as the details were laid out for the construction, there is no more to building a place for God's presence than just bricks and mortar, gold and bronze and precious stones. There's more to it than that. Even though that's what it says. That's what's lined up there for us. A cubit of this, some different weird measurement of that. It had to be acacia wood. It had to be a certain kind of brass. It needed to be bent in this kind of way. But there's more than that. That empty to God is the Mishkan unfinished. The words say, and everyone whose spirit moved them came, it said moved him. Men and women, people, all whose hearts moved them. So even though it was built, the requirement was that it needed to have the assembly of people. It needed to be that those people were there because they were moved to be there. That their spirit felt something called a draw, a pull that brought them to this place. And so when we do God's work in the world, when we share the messages, the traditions, the rituals, the things that make us who we are, our words, our speech, to others through comfort, through healing, through inspiration, then our sanctuaries, our synagogues, our tents, our places of meeting are that which are like the ancient portable sanctuary. And they will be complete. And so will we. You can have all of, let's say, a workspace. It can be designed exactly the way you want it. Amazing. You walk into the room, you couldn't have pictured it any better. You sit down at your desk, and the company doesn't function. No one communicates, no one shares anything. Now you have a great office with no community. No one's assembled there to be one with one purpose because everybody's there for themselves. There's no cohesiveness. And guess what? It's still incomplete, even though to you it feels so right in that space. The completion is the assembly, not the assembly meaning follow these detailed instructions of your IKEA manual, meaning the wholeness of assembly is two parts, so that the third part, that which is oneness, can shine and show and be present. And when that happens, we too are complete and full and present. We already know that each of us are endowed with our own gifts, our own ways of contributing to the community, to the world, just as our ancestors did in biblical times. And we recognize and celebrate the talents of others. And when we do that, we're closer to a world fulfilled. So often, I feel like we really can't celebrate the joys or the talents of others because we are too busy either beating ourselves up because we're not as good as, or there's jealousy, or we think we're much better, and so we can't see the talent of someone else because our own ego, our own presence puts a dark shadow over someone else. So when we realize that our contributions, along with the next person's contributions, and so on, builds this better place, builds this tent of meeting, this mishkan, this tapestry, as it were, of humanity, to be better, to be more fulfilled. Our hearts, our possessions, our spirit, as individuals and collectively, are what draws us to personal connection with oneness. Nadiv Lev, giving from the heart. When we give of ourselves, when we give from the heart, I'm not talking about tzedakah, charity. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about being who we are in the world. Giving from the heart emphasizes that we must not only respond to what when God does for us, right? We're like, oh, well, if I get that, it's like little kids. mean, I have a 4.5-year-old, as you know. If you won't do this, then I won't do that. You're 4 and you're going to do what I say anyway. So you can think that all you want. But giving from the heart emphasizes that we can't only respond to what when God does for us, but our hearts need to be attuned to what we can do for God. There is a reciprocal give and take you got to do in order to receive, but it's not only doing for the purpose of receiving. You automatically receive when you give with your heart. It's an automatic. Whether it's with God, whether it's with your neighbor, whether it's with your partner, whether it's with your kids, no matter what, when you give even a moment of your time, the benefits and rewards will always outweigh it, no matter what. When we apply our wisdom and skills, because we all have wisdom and we all have skills, we are created b'tselem Elohim, in God's image, but within our own, we have our own uniqueness to us. When we apply our own wisdom, our own skill, our own gold, silver, bronze, brass, blue, purple, scarlet, fine linen, wool, stones, incense, because we're all part of that bigger picture, our collective efforts bring God's presence. That's what it was at the Mishkan. That's what it was in this Parsha. It's all created according to the blueprint. Now we all assembled here, and the presence of God is there. We help bring God's presence into the world by the work of our hands, by the work of our hearts. The words Olam Chesed Yibaneh are for our everyday Brit. Not Brit Milah, not the covenant of cutting, but our agreement, our covenant with oneness. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadadai, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadadai, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadadai. I will build this world with love. Yadadai, yadadai. And you must build this world with love. Yadadai, yadadai. And if we build this world with love, yadadai, yadadai, then God will build this world with love. Yadadai, yadadai. Psalm 89, verse 3. We learn those words. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. The world is built on chesed, on kindness. We are one human family, one heart of abundant love. We love you. We're grateful that you are here this morning. Elisa and Ann, Linda, Amy, Lita, Jeneba, Bonnie, all of us here together, those that have checked in and those that have not. Let us continue to be with one another, realizing that our assembly is what brings oneness to the moment. Am Yisrael Chai. We will live. Please, God, protect our people there and here. For the humanity's tapestry is frayed. Let us do our work to try and put it back together. May there be safety for our soldiers, for our people, for our land. Please, God, end the suffering and bring our captive back. Amen. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Ora Avinu Chai.